The ancestral sage makes a remembrance of the history and mistakes of his civilization. It has been so long, it is now so different, that it is even painful to remember how it was before the sunlight curse. Before any other civilization existed in this world, we were here. We started worshipping the fire because the fire was good to warm up our cold blood. So, the fire became our god. But someone was not satisfied with just worshipping. He wanted to know the truth behind the power of this element. His name was Tower. His devotion and his spirit were so strong that at the end he consumed himself in the very essence of the fire. He was one with the fire, the god that we had been worshipping. Our civilization made an astonishing progress, and we became very powerful. There were not secrets for us anymore. Now the fire was alive, and every time we worshipped it, deep knowledge of the laws of the universe were given to us. Our powerful magicians learned how to control and build other beings as if they were machines. Obviously, we use them for our own purposes. Nerubians are the descendants of those living machines, although nobody else, except us, knows. Although we had everything and even lived in peace, that was not enough. Our greed and our pride were growing with our knowledge, and we wanted more. Worshipping Tower, the priests found the ultimate secret of existence. The secret of immortality. But such a thing, obviously, had an expensive price. A proper way to light a burner whose flame never extinguishes was revealed to the priests. In order to attain immortality, we had to give up our temporal inner flame. In that way, we don't age anymore, neither we recover in a natural way from our wounds or diseases. But as soon as we approach to the burner, we start to recover. So, to keep our immortal condition, we depend on the eternal flame burners for the rest of eternity. The second and last part of our ancestral sovereignty was lost because of pride and greed. An ocean of knowledge without a single drop of wisdom. They were our own brood. But the mages didn't care at all. Neither we stopped them. The only thing we wanted was to find a way to put the eternal flame inside of the being itself. So we wouldn't depend on the burners anymore. Then our immortality would be completely guaranteed. It wasn't about them anyway. They were just a part of the experiment. In case of success, the eternal flame would be applied to us. first, we thought that we had succeeded. But the experiment never worked again. We realized for the first time that we didn't know everything. There were forces working beyond our understanding. They were even more foolish than us, and called themselves gods. Since they arose from the sacred fire, we believed it. But Tower wasn't happy about that. And he requested to be worshipped again. Gogdar, their leader and the most powerful dragon, was completely furious. He was not going to allow anything or anyone to take away his divine rights. He accused the high priest for using dark sorcery against the new gods, and declared the cult of Tower as forbidden. Only a young black dragon called Deathwing made a stand against his brothers and accepted the new revelation. After venerating the fire with deep devotion, he realized and declared that he was no god at all, and that was the seal for all the events that happened later. With such a confession, the matter was out of question and we wouldn't continue worshipping the dragons at all. Their wrath became uncontrolled, and without previous warning, they attacked our main city. We were supposed to receive an unforgettable lesson to fear them more than we ever feared Tower. Actually, we will never forget that day. Although we had to run away and hide, we began to prepare our strike back. We found the primitive Ventars. Apparently weak, these creatures were able to reproduce themselves at a faster rate than any other creature that we had seen before. We gave them civilization and more advanced weapons. And finally, we invented a god for them. Zotar, the son of Tower, and the god of the smoke. We assembled a powerful army for the most terrible war we ever fought. Commanded by the Triax, our forces were almost implacable. Or implacable, whatever. The strategy was working perfectly. The apparently insignificant Ventars were outnumbering the dragons. Our clouds of smoke became their nightmare. And the dragons had to retreat. With the Battle of the Sky under control, the next step was to destroy all the dragon roosts. Our victory over the dragons seemed to be outstanding. How could we ever imagine what those desperate creatures were just about to do? In a tremendous act of hate, dozens of dragons gave up their inner eternal flame and concentrated their powers at the sun. The power of the eternal flame of life was reverted and used against us. All those beings without an inner flame now would be cursed. Some of us survived and were able to run away to the underground. The defeat against the dragons was our punishment because our sins of pride against the tower. Now we are forced to live in exile. Until the day that Tower himself will remove the sunlight curse and will return to rule the land.